Hello, everybody. Welcome In The Bullpen, brought to you by Hilltop Office Supplies, home of rat tests. If you need rat tests,
get them.
Get them from
$10 each.
Everybody seems to need a rat test these days.
Yep, come and get them.
Everybody, Hilltop Office Supplies.
How are you, man?
I'm very well. Big night at Caps Meadow. That was fun.
Yeah, it was. It was a little windy, but apart from that, the view was fantastic and a bit of a change of pace. That
Very
they've done
social.
Yeah,
it was good.
They've done Caps medals before, so it was good fun, and yeah, I think everyone had a good time.
I think so too, and that means that there's only one thing left to do this season, and that's to award the Division 3, 2, and 1 premierships. All going to be done this weekend, all live streamed right here, all starting soon. Going to be pretty fun. So how about we jump into a bit of the summary kind of stuff,
Let's do it.
eh?
Let's get it going.
All right, let's start here. Goodwood beating Sturt. The minor premiers got toppled. Goodwood lost in the first round. Lucky losers get through. They are now in the grand final. They've got a 2-3 record, and they're in the grand final. But they beat Sturt at home in Sturt, 2 out of 3. That's a big win for Goodwood.
Yeah, it is, and Fitzy threw really well in game one. That obviously helped them out immensely. Yeah, he's got to be on. He'll probably go tonight. I would think. I'd be surprised if he doesn't.
He is.
But he was on last week, and they won, and that helped them winning game one. Probably they struggle if they don't. They didn't win game one against Sturt, but they did and lost game two and then got back up and won game
game
three.
two was close. It was 1-1 until an error. Well, this was just actually not good. This was bad news bears all along for Goodwood because Jeremy Creswell makes a rare error and does his hamstring on the same play, and now he's out for the finals. We'll talk to Scott Pratt about that later on, about previewing the grand final series, everything around Goodwood. But we do need to talk about this series. Is game 3 was known as the Stephen Welsh experience. He single-handedly kind of turned this game around. This was right out in the first inning, a 3-run shot, makes it 3-0. That obviously table sets, right? Like when you're up 3-0 on the road, get that win. But then in the next play coming up, bases loaded, 4-2. All you need is a base hit that scores 2 runs. That has double written all over it, and he makes that play, and the next at-bat hits a home run. Was that not one of the most outrageous plays you've seen?
Yeah, that's what you expect of Welshie. He's done it for years, and you know it's great plays, but everyone just goes, "Oh, that's what Steph does." You know?
It's crazy.
So everyone else would be like, "Oh my God, that's amazing," but he's just pretty nonchalant and goes, "Well, that's why I'm here. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's my job."
On the other side, they're going to play West Torrens, and again, Scott Pratt going to break this down for us as well. But West Torrens, they are rolling. They've won 9 in a row, including 2 in the first round, then 2 in the second rounds. They beat Henley and Grange. That's got to be disappointment for Henley.
Yeah, they just weren't on. They had a bad weekend.
Bad weekend.
Yeah, it's all it is. You probably play it again, they maybe win. So, but
Newenborn out dueled Wilson Lee.
He did. So he did a great job there, and then Geordie Gross, coming off being sick from COVID, couldn't handle the situation either. Not that he couldn't handle the situation, but he was not feeling
just off
well and didn't throw as well as he has all year. And West Torrens did an amazing job, and here we are.
Well, how's Max Stagg, by the way, because he hit more home runs over the weekend. He went on a little weekend trip. He got sent away after finishing the Giants season, finishing Team Australia. Was told he was just feeling a little overloaded with everything going on. He takes a weekend away, a week away from baseball to reset. He hit home runs versus Goodwood, including this walk-offs. But his numbers since returning are absolutely dumbfounding since it's come back. We'll pop the numbers up on screen for you in just a second. But do you sometimes find that when you return from a break, you just feel a bit more refreshed?
Yeah, well, he's had a pretty big year, right? He's done all high performance. He's trained almost every day. He's then in the ABL squad and played 20 games of baseball as well. Then he was in the under-19 Australian team as well that played against the Giants. And he was just flat. He's only a kid. He's only just turned 18. So you're going to get tired. He's not as big and strong as a man as he will be in a few years' time, where he can handle that workload.
But is it also kind of a lesson, though, that saying too much of anything is not necessarily a good thing? It's okay, whether it be in work, life, school, whatever, to take those 5 days off from what you love, come back refreshed, and a bit of a recharged mind in that kind of mindset?
Yeah, absolutely. And it only needs 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
You don't need 3 or 4 weeks. You just
or
need
a month.
Just walk away from it, clear your head. And that's probably what it is more than anything. He's big and strong enough. It's just a head. Clear your head.
Make the adjustment.
Make a change. Come back out here. Go, oh, I've missed this for 5 days. Let's get stuck into it, and you can see what's happening.
I always find that you just appreciate those little things better. So, like, to all those kids, and you hear it even with these great athletes, they were told always to play a different sport in the off season, right?
Yep.
Because it just switches you off a little bit and you come back recharged.
Yeah, and we did a lot of that too. A lot of us played footy in the off-season just to keep fit and just have a run around with some mates and do that sort of stuff to get away from the game a little bit. And Max walked away for 4 or 5 days, refreshed, and now his numbers are proving that was the best thing for him.
Women's Grand Final was also on Sunday. It was maybe the best women's game we've seen since the return of the women's competition. Shout out to Bianca Smith. She wins the MVP in that game. Shout out to Jess Maslin. We're going to bring her on the show in like 4 minutes from now to talk to her, who goes toe-to-toe with Gemma Letton in relief. Both these pitchers came in. They pitched over 4 innings. Both of them had won a premiership for Port Adelaide the night before, going against each other, Sturt versus Glenelg, Jess on Glenelg. Jess just wins that pitching battle in extra innings, 7-5 the final score. It was 3-0, a crazy comeback that Sturt ties it up at 3. They think they have the lead. Then there's a controversial call. Then they don't have the lead. Then it goes to extra innings, and it's a big inning for Glenelg. Then Sturt have bases loaded and a chance to tie it up late. It was just epic. It was good.
Yeah, no, and that proves that the best 2 teams are in the grand final, and it turned out the way that it did. So that's what you expect in grand finals, the 2 best teams to battle it out like that.
Georgia Davis also started in that game. She ends up winning the CAPS medal, or the best and fairest in the women's competition. That was a pretty cool moment to see a 15-year-old with some ridiculous numbers. We'll pop those up on screen too. Some ridiculous numbers from Georgia Davis during the season. Hit the ball, could pitch. She was undefeated in the season with the ball in her hand. It's pretty special to see a 15-year-old do that.
Yeah, and with those numbers there, you can't not win it. You know, you go 9-0. You can't not win.
What'd you say? Immoral.
She was, as you would say, she was a wagon.
She was a wagon.
She was a wagon
all year long. Jackson Rebner-Russ, on the theme of wagons, that meant a lot to him to win that CAPS medal.
Yeah, well, we said what did we say about 4 or 5 weeks ago that was those 2 that would fight it out. We
knew what we were talking about. Could he withstand a charge? And Wilson Lee charged. It came down to the final round, and JBR got it done.
Yeah, and thoroughly deserved. He had a great year, and probably he's been a bridesmaid a couple of times as well. So it was good for him to get across the line and have a CAPS medal on his mantelpiece.
There's a great little social media post from his partner Chelsea just about that and what he was saying. And he was like, literally, he had dreamt of this, and like that has been one of his goals for a long time. And for it to come true, and to see the emotion on the Sturt teammates, the whole team was there. Literally, Jordan McCardle cried when Jackson Rebner-Russ won it. It was really cool.
Yeah, no, it was, and that's just how close a team they are, and they get around each other and love playing baseball together, and that's what it's all about.
I also liked what he said on his speech after. He's like, well, we're not playing this weekend, so it's kind of bittersweet.
Yeah, well, it is. That's the thing. I mean, personal accolades are great, but we all play this game for premierships.
But it is cool for him, though.
Yeah, no, I sort of said, it is great for him, but he would much prefer, he would give that medal back to be out here playing tonight.
He probably would.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of best and fairest, we've got Jess Maslin coming up on the other side of the show. We'll be back with Jess Maslin.
Hilltop Office Supplies are here to provide you with all your stationery, sanitary products and office equipment. We are a local business servicing local communities with the ability to offer you and your business the best prices. We offer a large range of office supplies from pens, ink cartridges and toner to monitors, keyboards and laptops. If you can't see it on our website or in our catalogue, ask us and we'll source it for you. We have a partnership with Kaishira Document Solutions where you will find many leasing options available for these state-of-the-art units and plenty to choose from whether you have 5 or 5,000 employees. We offer businesses a one-stop shop for all cleaning, kitchen and bathroom needs. Check out our website at www.hilltopofficesupplies.com.au. Register your business to stay on top of the latest sales and receive member specials. We are baseball people here to support the baseball community.
Back in the bullpen, brought to you by Hilltop Office Supplies. Jess Maslin, 2-time Glenelg Premiership winner, 3-time Premiership winner now in the women's baseball competition. How many Premierships has there been since they've been back? 5? You've got 3 of them?
I think it's like 4 or 5, yeah. I wasn't in...
Sturt's got 2.
Sturt's got 2.
Jess Maslin has 3.
I have 3. I think there's been 5, I think.
So you have more Premierships than any club has Premierships.
I guess so, yeah. I was lucky enough to win one with Gawler.
Wagon.
First year it came back, and then one back-to-back with Glenelg, yeah.
So we're going to rattle off your accolades here, Jess. You've got 3 Premierships in baseball, before last weekend, you only had one softball premiership, but you won it on Saturday night before you won on Sunday, so now you got two. Best and fairest at baseball, best and fairest at softball. Open women's baseball state team, open women's softball state team, where you beat a member in the past. Play on the ABLW's team, being part of those Emeralds national team camps. It's a big list of things that is growing. What does it feel like when you get to look at a resume and be like, oh shit, that's me?
It's a lot of hard work, but it also means that all the hard work's been worth it. Definitely playing in the green and gold. I've been able to do that in junior softball, and now to be able to do it in open women's baseball is just phenomenal.
So walk me through last weekend. What did your Friday night to Sunday night, that 48 hours, look like for you?
So Friday, obviously left from work and teaching, and then went home and tried to get some good sleep, get some good...
Watch Bridgerton.
Yeah, watch Bridgerton. I decided to try to take my mind off of sport. I'm someone who can fixate if I'm not careful, so I decided just to watch a bit of Netflix and just started to watch Bridgerton. Lost track of time, unfortunately. Woke up, did some stretching, some recovery, some plyos. Went to softball and supported the B grade. Unfortunately, they didn't win. And then went into softball and thought it was going to be a 7-inning game, and it turned into a bit of a slugfest, but then it was a really tight pitches duel as well.
2-1 was that one. Port Adelaide had never been to a grand final before, and they won it on their first go. In extra innings, Jess gunned down what would have been the tying run in extra innings.
Wow.
From left field.
There you go.
Is that good? Big weekend. How many times have you, that's crazy though, right? Because then Saturday, Sunday, by the way, what did you do Sunday after the Saturday?
So Saturday, obviously celebrated with the girls. They all went out clubbing, and Gemma and I decided to go home, and went home, got some more rest, woke up, travelled to Sturt, and watched a bit of the game beforehand. Unfortunately, Sturt got knocked out, but so the environment at the grounds was obviously going to be really heightened because they wanted their women to win. Just played it like any other baseball game. It was a bit funny when Gemma and I started facing each other, but that was about it.
Yeah, no, that was interesting. And just to put it into perspective, that both those girls play in the same softball team together.
Yeah.
And then they were in opposition teams on the Sunday in baseball. So, and then pitched the last 4 innings.
It was
each.
a duel between the two of them to win the flag in baseball.
Yeah, and one's the smiling assassin, and the other one's more serious than
Stone
Hitler.
cold killer.
Yeah, so it was seeing that on the TV was, and you guys talking about it was quite funny that one's the smiler and one was very, very serious about what they were doing.
Yeah, you had a couple at bats where you're just like laser. Are you just a laser focused person when you're up to at bat? Because you just look so serious. I'm like, I think I said it on the broadcast. I was like, I don't want to go near Jess right now.
Normally, I'm usually quite relaxed, quite open with how I react. I was actually not feeling too great. I was incredibly fatigued. I had nothing left in the tank, but I obviously didn't want to let Sturt see that. And I knew that I was facing Gemma. Gemma struck me out before. I wanted to get on the base pass for the girls, and I knew it was going to be a really tight duel. And Gemma, throwing absolute bullets.
So let's go to this, though. Top of the ninth, bases, we're running around first and second, tie game, and then you get intentionally walked. Well, first off, were you surprised when you were intentionally walked?
No.
You weren't surprised? Would you have, if you were the coach, if you were any coach and you saw Jess Maslin coming up, would Jess Maslin walk Jess Maslin in that situation?
If it meant that, Bianca's an incredibly strong batter, so it was basically you either took a shot at me or you took a shot at B. And B was hitting really, really well, so it kind of worked in our favour. But
yeah, she cleared him.
Yeah, she cleared him. But, it's not the first time I've been walked in that sort of situation. I got walked by Woodville in a very similar situation. So I'm lucky I can hit a really long ball, and I think that's what Macca was trying to avoid. And I played softball with Macca for years, so she knows me as a batter pretty well. So
would you have walked Jess Maslin?
I probably would have, yes.
You would have walked Jess Maslin. There you go. Dunny, would you have walked Jess Maslin?
Not a chance.
No?
No, not a chance.
I think they're just trying to limit the damage, though, and this woman can damage you.
Yeah, but I look at the situation that's fine. If Jess wins it, Jess wins it. If you've got runners at first and second and Jess hits a fly ball, the outfielder hits a ground ball, you're out with runners at second and third, you still got a chance to get out of the innings with none.
How's this, though, as a player, that Jess has now worked her reputation up as that damaging player that in extra innings of a grand final with runners on first and second, they would rather just not, they would just be like, you know what? Nah, we're going to leave it. don't even want to chance it with you. Like, how's that for a reputation from a batter?
Yeah, as I said, I would have made Jess win it herself. There's whole situations during the game where you put her on, and you go at the beginning of the game, you go, okay, Jess Maslin's not going to beat us.
Yeah.
But then in that situation there, okay, well, you now have to beat us. Because I'm not going to give up runs just so she can go on base. Because you work it out, you'd know this more than I probably would be in the stat man. How many more ways are there to score from third than there are from second?
Well, it's still like, I guess it's that age-old debate, right? Because, like, even though, like, you hit 420 or whatever it was, that's still less than 50% chance that you're getting a hit.
So 6 out of 10, she might get out.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Let her win it. She's got to win it, not hand it to her.
Either way, Jess, does it daunt? Do you have that realization though of how impactful of a player you are in terms of, like, coaches now have to think about where you are in a lineup in a game? Like, you're part of a game plan. People look at it being like, uh-oh.
I think it really hit home, like, when I won the Caps last year. I think that was when it really hit home. And then when we had the All-Star game, Macca was like, "Yep, I would have steal her over with her bat." And like, I obviously bat with people like when Alice Prokopek was playing, Bianca, Jenny Dunn, who are all like really good batters. But I knew I could hit a long ball, and it was this year when I started I could almost make it to the fence, and I was almost fencing the ball there. I was like, okay, people are going to have to sort of watch, and I got hit a lot more after that fact actually as well. So
the other thing in that situation, just as a coach, from a coaching point of view, even if you do hit a ball the fence, you hit a double, they score 2 runs, right? So you put them on third, Bianca gets a hit, scores 1, then a triple that clears the bases, scores 4. You only score 2. You're still in it, and then Sturt come up in the bottom, they would have won.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's 20/20.
100%.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
From my point of view, that's how I look at it and would have played it. I mean, everyone's different, but I'm just giving you another side of how I would have looked at it.
But on the other side, Jess, and you got to present her with the Best and Fairest medal, Georgia Davis. What a season she had. Was that a cool moment for you when you got to present the medal to a 15-year-old?
I kind of expected Georgia to win it.
I think most people did.
Yeah, I don't think if you were putting bets on, I don't think you would have got much money back. But Georgia's amazing, working with her, obviously high performance. Her stats are incredible, facing it all this year. When I got asked to present the medal, it was like a cool tradition starting. So I hope that can continue. But handing it over to Georgia, I was sitting with her all night, and you could just see how nervous she was. She was freaking out, and I'm like, honey, she was so nervous. So food was coming around. I don't think she touched a morsel until after she won, and we had Max and Darcy behind us cheering her on and everything like that. So the support she had was amazing, and she's just an amazing player. So she deserved every minute of it, and I couldn't stop smiling when I was up on that stage. I was clapping, I was smiling, I was cheering, but I had to try to remain professional.
Yeah.
And like handing that over to her was absolutely amazing. Like, I could have almost cried.
Yep.
So, Jess, what is the next, before you go, what does the next 5-6 weeks look like for you?
Keep training, keep pushing hard. We've got state coming up in a couple of weeks. We're doing raffles tonight and at the men's games over the weekend. And we're I'm then looking towards the Giant Series in a couple of weeks after that. So
I think you might see a Jay Maslin on the Giants roster.
That's in Geelong, right? Can we give a bit of a shout out to when that actually is? Do you guys know when that is?
It's the 5th to the 8th, I believe, of May.
5 games and then a championship series.
So 5 games, championship series, on the backs of the amazing series we had here in Adelaide. And then seeing some of the amazing players from, I think it's like 30 odd from the Emeralds squad. And then you've got some other players that are being brought in from nationals as well. And I think it's going to be one hell of a series. It's going to show the best that women's baseball has to offer. And it's going to be a really hard fight. So 5 days is going to be a tough slog after nationals, but I think it's going to be a really good series.
And streamed, Eric?
It'll be broadcast on like national TV and into America and Canada and Japan. It's going crazy. It's
awesome.
Huge.
That's good.
It's huge. Does it feel cool putting the Giants jersey on as an SA girl?
It's amazing. I never thought I would be able to play like a professional, semi-professional league. Unfortunately, as a woman, you don't really have that many opportunities except if you're playing maybe netball. But putting that Giants uniform on when we were here, it was amazing. And I remember Julie Wadham, who I have the utmost respect for, she came up to me after the game and she goes, "How'd that feel?" And I was like, "I don't think it's sunk in." She showed me a photo of me batting with my name up on the screen, and it was the most amazing feeling.
And you wear number 23?
I wear number 23.
Of course you do.
It's a good number. It's a good number.
Number 23.
Grown up wearing it, and it's just stuck.
Duddy's
Yeah,
number.
I know. Clearly, we got the good numbers here, but yeah, 23 is the number I stick with.
There you go.
Yep. Well, just quickly, just before you go, who was your childhood idol growing up?
I was a netballer when I grew up, so probably Nat Van Berto. But
Don't know who that is.
So she was an amazing netballer for Australia, but I think Jeter was up there, if not Jenny Finch, because I obviously grew up playing softball.
Best sporting event you've been to?
Am I allowed to have played in it?
Yep.
I'd say probably the Bendigo series against Japan.
Yeah.
When I played for the Emeralds, they were phenomenal and they were just militant. And that was the university team, and they were just incredible.
Mm-hmm. And then what about the sporting event you would love to go to, past or present?
I've always said I wanted to go to the Olympics. So whether that be as a player, a manager, or just as a spectator, I want to go to the Olympics or a Commonwealth Games.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Well, maybe we'll see her there one time. She's got a lot of resume things. Olympics would be a cool one to add on to that resume, Jess Maslin. But yeah, the GOAT talks have begun for this woman. Right next to
really?
us.
There you
So,
go.
Jess,
She's a
thanks-
wagon.
She's a wagon. Jess,
I'll take wagon.
thanks for joining us, and we'll see you with the women's state team coming up.
No worries. Thank you very much.
No worries.
We'll have Tony Pratt. Tony Pratt. Who the hell is Tony Pratt? Scott Pratt coming up after the break to talk about the grand final series. See you then.
Here at we offer quality factory direct furniture at wholesale prices, from wall clocks, prints and lamps to couches, beds, rugs and outdoor furniture. We make furniture affordable, where you save up to 80% on retail, offering you the finest furniture at discount prices. When you buy from us, you won't wait months for your new furniture. Everything you see is ready for immediate delivery, and mention Super League Baseball and we'll deliver it for free. We pride ourselves on customer service, and our team works tirelessly to offer our customers on-trend furniture at heavily discounted prices. Visit our huge warehouse in Beverley, open 7 days a week, or jump online to check out our latest deals at www.justthethingfurniture.com.
Tony Pratt couldn't make it, but Scott Pratt decided
Here I
to. Yeah, what's up, Pratty?
Yeah, going well. A very exciting night.
We're here. Well, that's why you're here. We're going to talk grand final series. We're going to be calling the game, all of us, pretty soon. Good to have Pratty back
How are
in
you,
the broadcast
sweetheart?
today.
Good to be here.
Get
Good
the
to
little brotherly love going
be.
on
That's
between you
it.
two again.
That's it. Number 23, I was 22.
Oh, so he was one better.
Always.
Always. Pratty, tonight, grand final. Goodwood, that's a club you're a part of, but West Torrens, a very good club. Both teams have won a lot of premierships in their heyday. I think like half of the premierships have won by those two just combined. It's ridiculous.
I got some numbers here, Eric.
Let's hear it.
So West Torrens won 22.
Is that good?
That's a good number.
Okay.
Goodwood have won 21. They win. That'll be 22. And it'll be our 22nd year in a row that we've been in finals. So that's quite a good number.
Big number.
Kensington are third on 12 premierships. Then you got Port Adelaide on 11, Glenelg on 8, East Torrens on 7, Woodville on 6, Sturton Adelaide on 5, Henley and Grange on 2, and Golden Grove, Central Districts, Southern Districts and Northern Districts still to get 1. So there you go.
So, yeah, it's about half of the premierships have won by either West Torrens or Goodwood. That's crazy.
Powerhouses and different eras. Quite interesting. So, you know, Goodwood was strong in the late 20s, early 30s, and then all of a sudden West Torrens came on in the mid 40s, and they had a great era. And then obviously in this great man's heyday, back in the 60s, was it?
Yeah. 90s.
No, in the 90s, these guys were just an unbelievable team, and was it five? I've got that right. 5.
Pretty sure
Five
it's
in a row. Back here, 1, 2, 3, 4. They won one back before that.
5 out of 6.
5 out of 6. And what that era was a pretty big era for West Torrens. They were 1 to 9 were ABL guys. It was always tough to come up against them.
Goodwood, though, they've been to the last 4 grand finals in the series that have been played. 1 year, COVID wiped out the whole final series. Lost the last 2. What's the club feeling like tonight?
Oh, look, we, as everyone knows, finals, they're tough. Anyone can win on any given day, and that's probably the hardest thing. We look, you look and we'll dissect this game and the series later on. It's pretty even. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because it just comes down to
New season.
it's a new season, and it really is who's hungrier. We've lost games, we've lost grand finals that we should have won. And it just can turn. Someone comes out of a blue and shines and dominates a series that you probably don't even realise where they come from. I remember back in it was 05-06, Josh Wigmore hit 3 home runs in one game, in Game 3 against Port Adelaide to beat us, to beat
The
Port
silver
Adelaide.
medalist.
So, that's someone just shines. And there's 2 teams here that have got back-to-back, there's studs all through it. Someone could shine and be that person.
Well, it's game 1 tonight, so what's the big storyline you're looking at when it comes to that first game? The first win is so important in these series.
I agree, but not necessarily, right? Because this is going to be a long weekend.
Okay.
A long weekend. If you can get to Game 3, that's the key. To me, out of it all, it's the team who gets to Game 3. So really, there's going to be 2. I gave Benny a call today. Just wanted to get a bit of gossip from him and see where things were at. He's going to go with Fitzy.
Yeah.
Fitzy deserves it. He's been the number 1 guy, and what a matchup. Newborn and Fitzy going head to head. It's going to be a tough battle.
So Fitzy at his best can go toe to toe with Newborn.
Well and truly he can, but is he in Newborn's league? Like this guy's.
What do you like about Newborn? Because you see him with the Giants all the time.
Let's be honest about that. He's not in Newborn's league.
No,
right?
he's not.
But if he's on, he's on. But if Newborn's on, he's tough too. And I think the big difference is where they're playing tonight too. We're here. The wind's blowing in. There's not going to be the game that they played at West Torrens. It was 11-9 in that first one that these 2 guys faced each other.
Look at that ball run. You watch his some of the movement he gets on a fastball. There's his breaking ball, obviously, but he can run a fastball that looks like it's going for a ball. Like that was going for a ball, slides across to the inside.
Yeah.
The movement that he has on, and he's a legit mid-90s guy. Like, we don't have many of them in South Australia that throw the speed that he does.
No. And playing out here tonight as well, it's not 11-9 tonight.
No.
It's not 11-9 tonight. There's no way out here it's 11-9.
It's a total different ballpark to any
100%.
other ballpark in South Australia, and it's the team that plays. 1 year ago, we didn't play to this field, and 2 years ago after that, we didn't play to this field properly. Our guys tried to hit the long ball. You can't hit a long ball
And
here.
not versus Newborn.
And not versus Newborn, and not when the wind is blowing. And there's a bit of movement already, and as we know, it picks up later in the day, so there's more wind coming. So I think defence is going to be a real big key. I think
What's the 2 best defensive teams in the league?
That's right. And, if you've got young Jack Bushell at shortstop coming in, you've got George in shortstop for West Torrens. There's 2 young kids.
So no Creswell, so it's Bushell.
Yeah. So my question to you is, where does Goodwood? My question to you, Paddy, is where does Goodwood win it, and where does West Torrens win it?
I think if West Torrens are to win it, they've got to make good defence all game, all series. I think where they could come undone is when they go deep into their pen and the ball gets hit around. Because Goodwood are going to hit at some stage. You can't keep that line up to 0 at any point in time. So it's going to be a matter of West Torrens have got to continue to make the plays. Where Goodwood are going to go wrong is if they don't put bat on ball and put pressure on the other team. I think they've got the pitching strength to go deep into Game 3. So for me, I want to see Game 3. I want to see Challenor playing, pitching in Game 3, because we know what he can give you. Where West Torrens are going to come undone is, can their pitching lineup hold the batters of Goodwood? What do you think?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think you'd say Game 1's not overly important. I think it's massively important, right? Because I think if Goodwood win, they're a massive chance. And I think if West Torrens win, they're also then a massive chance.
The only team in the final series so far that has not won the series after winning Game 1 is Southern Districts. Everybody else has won the series so far by winning Game 1.
It is important. There's no doubt about that.
But it's not the most important.
It's not the be-all and end-all. And mark my
Should we
words,
say you can't win it in Game 1, but you can certainly lose it in Game 1?
where the advantage is Goodwood have got the experience. They've got the experienced guys that they lose Game 1, they're going home, they're chilling out, they'll eat their pasta, they'll get themselves ready, they'll gear up for Game 2 and Game 3. I've seen it before. We played Port Adelaide here, beat Port Adelaide in a 3-game series. Port Adelaide won Game 1, throwing water over each other, happy days, thought they had it won. We packed up, reset. Matty Watkins gave up that game, came back, won Game 2, and then won Game 3. So I think Goodwood have the heads and the maturity to continue to go deep into a series. I don't know whether West Torrens have got that ability. I think they're a bit up and down in their emotions because they're young and they're an up and about team. Like they are.
They do, but they've
super
also got premiership winners, right? Nathan Vanderlyn,
Yep.
he's won a premiership. Nico Vanderlyn, and he's won a premiership. Sam McGarry, Tom McGarry, Tyrone Hambley. Like, there's still a lot of experience, even though, yeah, they are younger than Goodwood. And you have two ABL guys going at each other tonight. So it's going to be a very interesting series. And I'm getting, you'll be fired up.
And
Brad.
as you said, Eric, too, they're also 9-0 in their last 9.
Yeah, with 91 runs.
So they're hotter. They're as hot as you can be. They're as hot as you can be. So this should be an outstanding final series.
Pratty, we're going to let you go. We're going to bring you back for the broadcast shortly. Thanks for coming and
Hey,
getting
where's
us
his
pumped
questions?
up.
I've got to ask his
Pratty,
questions.
yeah. Well, who's your childhood idol growing up?
Derek Jeter.
Growing up, Derek Jeter.
Yep.
That's how
You're
old he
like
is.
6 years old?
Yeah. No. Well,
An idol, Derek Jeter. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Perfect. What about best sporting event you've ever been to?
I would say the Dodgers game that Luke Prokopec pitched in, and I sat in the dugout and then in the special box with the wives and girlfriends. That was pretty cool.
What about sporting event you'd like to go to next? If you could go to
Past
anything
or
in the world,
present?
past or present. It could have already happened in the past.
I'd like to go to a World Series game. I'd like to go to World Series game. I'd love to go to a World Series game. Yep.
Great answers, Pratty. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you in about half an hour for the game. We're going to say goodbye to the show in about a minute's time. See you then.
Hilltop Office Supplies are here to provide you with all your stationery, sanitary products and office equipment. We are a local business servicing local communities with the ability to offer you and your business the best prices. We offer a large range of office supplies from pens, ink cartridges and toner to monitors, keyboards and laptops. If you can't see it on our website or in our catalogue, ask us and we'll source it for you. We have a partnership with Kaishira Document Solutions where you will find many leasing options available for these state-of-the-art units and plenty to choose from whether you have 5 or 5,000 employees. We offer businesses a one-stop shop for all cleaning, kitchen and bathroom needs. Check out our website at www.hilltopofficesupplies.com.au. Register your business to stay on top of the latest sales and receive member specials. We are baseball people here to support the baseball community.
Back in the bullpen for our last segment of
Our
the
last
year, brought
5
to you by
minutes.
Hilltop Office Supplies. Where are you, Hilltop?
Yeah.
The Holy Grace.
Hey, we
up
hope
there.
we hope everyone's enjoyed our show, and please feel free to give us some love and tell us how much you enjoy it, and we'll be back again next year, hopefully with bigger and better things. But we hope that we've given you some information that you might not normally have seen during the year. It's we've culled some rumours that aren't true that people
Or started some.
Yeah, but we've given you the facts. We've someone said something that's true, that's not true. We've given you the right information. So we hope you've enjoyed it, and we've had great fun. Hey?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And we're gonna just finish off with a couple shout outs to some people. Now, first off, congratulations to everybody for winning their flags over the weekend.
Yes.
I know I got some great stories on social media coming through about some epic performances in grand finals, all of that. Now, without singling anybody out, I'm going to single out some people. Just can't shout out all 40 people that have won the grand finals,
Sure.
but a couple cool ones. We're going to start, though, at Caps Medal, John King winning the Volunteer of the Year. That was a pretty special moment. He was completely surprised at East Torrens. Thought he was going there just to see his son get some award. He ends up winning Volunteer of the Year. He does literally everything at the club, but really championed like a bottle collecting program over at East Torrens
that
that
was
puts money
fantastic.
back in the club. Committee matches it. That was really cool to see John King get that.
Yeah, it was great.
On to our premiership shout-outs. East Torrens under 15s, I've mentioned them on the show before. The only undefeated team in baseball in South Australia, wire to wire, did not lose one single game this junior league. And the Baseball Australia posted it, asking if there's been any other teams that have gone undefeated, and there hasn't been anyone that's nominated themselves.
Yeah,
so
right.
Can't confirm this, but they might be the only undefeated team to go
In
wire
Australia.
to wire and win the premiership in Australia.
Wow.
Surely not. There's got to be
Hey, you
one
never know.
elsewhere, but the only one in SA.
Yeah, that's fantastic. They had a great year.
And they were a wagon
They
from
were a
start to
wagon.
finish. And a big shout out to the Golden Grove Women's Division 2 for winning their grand final. This was talking to Golden Grove, the whole club at Caps Medal Night. This was their first flag they've won as a club in 8 years, and the women have come so close at a couple years in a row. They finally won it on a walk-off home run in extra innings to beat Sturt, and apparently the crowd went crazy. Like, I was talking to people on softball the night before that live nearby. They're like, it was going off. They could hear it from blocks away, going crazy. So that's cool. Good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic.
And so that's a big shout out to Golden Grove. So big thank you to all the fans, and of course our two caps medalists. We had the caps medal of Jackson Bredman Russ, women's best and fairest in Georgia Davis. That was a really special moment, I think. So
two Sturt.
We got to give them a shout out for Sturt.
Yep, they had a very, very good year. Both
the second and third most marketable players they have at Sturt Baseball Club.
Behind Eric Ballner?
Yeah,
I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard that rumor.
Sturt's most marketable player, and on the most marketable team, the Great Eights. Let's go.
The Great Eights.
Dunny, let's finish this off by asking each other questions that...
Yeah, righto. You go first. Who is your childhood hero?
Okay, so I've got, can I say two?
Yeah, no, we can do what we like. We run the show.
So it's true. I've got, my faux one is a player named Joey Bartley who played on the Guelph Storm, who is like the junior hockey team that is from my community. And
I need to see their logo.
Dude, Joey Bartley played like 8 games total in his whole career. He was horrible, but... When I was like 4 years old, he came and like tied my skates before one of my like hockey games, and from that moment I was like, I want to be like Joey Bartley, but he was a scrub. Like he was no good. That's hilarious. My hero though, like the one that like I idolized, was a guy named Doug Flutie.
No.
He was the quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts, then a quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, then a quarterback for San Diego. But he's known for the Flutie magic miracle that happened when he was playing at Boston College. Throws a Hail Mary, 60 yards, caught in the end zone to win a championship in college. But he was just this short little guy that had to like look over linemen, hop around. I have his cereal, Flutie Flakes, still in my room.
Yeah,
I loved Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie.
That's fantastic.
What about yours?
Well, I have two as well. I've been a Hawthorn supporter forever. So Dermot Brereton was one of mine, and he wore number 23, which is one of the reasons why I wore 23. And then I was a big MJ fan, so you couldn't go past Michael Jordan. And I was, a bit of a Bulls follower back and he wore 23 as well. So it just happened to be that's how it sort of turned out.
What about best sporting event you've been to?
Again, I've had two.
Okay.
Obviously, one of them. I've been to the Masters in Augusta. That was fantastic and something that I'll cherish forever. And the second one, I was at all 3 Melbourne Cups that Maccabi Diva won, that'll never ever happen.
And you got to go to all of them.
I was at all 3 of them.
I'm going to go with my sports week that I had by fluke with my dad. I flew home to go to the U.S. Open golf at Oakmont in 2016, and that was it. That was all it was planned. It was planned months in advance. Fly back, go golf for a couple days, which we did. Go to the U.S. Open at Oakmont, which we did. However, we stayed in Pittsburgh, and we got to go to a Stanley Cup Finals game in Pittsburgh, Game 5, and then Pittsburgh won it 2 days later, and then we went to the Stanley Cup Parade a few days later, and then round 2 washed out at Oakmont. We looked what there was to do. We're like, Cleveland's only 2-hour drive away. Went to Cleveland, got to see Cleveland beat Golden State in Game 6 of the year. They came back from 3-1, and Michael Jordan put up 41, 15, and 13. Not Michael Jordan, LeBron, 41, 15, 13. That was like a 6-day stretch. That was awesome.
Wow. And what about a sporting event in the future or the past?
I would like to go to a bar in Buffalo. No, honestly, the sporting event I'd like to go to, I would just like to watch the Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl with my dad.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where. It could be at home, could be in a bar,
anywhere.
Could be anywhere. Like, I don't even need to be at the grounds. I just want to watch the Bills win the Super Bowl with my dad. He flew to Australia, had to get an exemption to come just in case it happened this year, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But that would mean a lot to me to watch the Super Bowl with my dad.
That's amazing, isn't it? Mine, I sat down and thought about this, and then I thought, you know what? One of the big things I thought would have been amazing to be at was when Kirk Gibson hit that home run.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
That would have been one of the most epic things to be
Especially if you went back knowing now how significant that was.
Unbelievable.
Like, you could go back and like, this is coming. So, yeah, that's a great That's a great one.
From a past experience, imagine sitting in the crowd with Kirk Gibson hobbling to the plate and getting a off-speed pitch that he ducks his ass out at and hits it over the right field fence. It's like the natural.
Imagine going to that knowing what he was going to do, but nobody else in the stand knowing. So you were just
like the almanac.
Wow, this is going to go crazy.
Don't
in
blink.
3, 2, 1, boom. That would be incredible.
Yeah, I thought that would be fantastic.
I love that. Well, that'll do it for us for season 2021 or 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
Dunny, thank you so much for
mate.
getting this all together. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been great fun, and we hope everyone's enjoyed it out there, and we'll be back bigger and better next year with more stuff to talk about.
Grand final coming up half an hour.